Hey, so welcome back, guys. And today I wanted to discuss the crazy amount of volatility that we're seeing in the markets. Not only with the S&P 500, but we're talking about penny stocks, and we're going to talk about swings, or even doing any swings in this crazy market that seems that nobody can make money. But first, I wanted to say a special congrats to the team. We had some pretty good calls this week, even though we had a pretty crazy week. Let's say overall, we had SOS, a nice call on there, as there was a potential short squeeze that a group on Reddit was trying. It was not Wall Street Bets. It was a different group, and then we had another one, Barry. That one went from 14 to 21. Pretty. It was a low float stock, like one of the ones that have been rising about 1,000 to 2,000%. Well, about 100 to 1,000% in one day. We also got that very call in a week where it seems that nobody can make money. It seems that a lot of people are actually having trouble making money. If not, this is one of the traders. You can see that here on the Fin tweet or financial community. You can see that uh, everybody's a little confused by this post right here, claiming that the market's hitting new highs. How about your portfolio? Now he could just be asking it as a normal question. This is SPAC Bobby. He's um, uh, a pretty good trader with good information on swings and any other stocks that he owns. And essentially, you can see that the people that were heavily in tech stocks or SPACs are actually pretty much down. Those still have not recovered ever since February. So everybody's been kind of on a straight downtrend for a couple months. But if you look at SPY has been killing it over the past 5 days. Just from you can see here on April 7th to April 9th, which is today, SPY was just at 405. Now it's at 411. That's a pretty significant gain over just a couple days. SPY has been constantly hitting new all-time highs. You can look here at the volume, and it's just been constantly high volume for SPY. Essentially around looks to be around the same times, 2 p.m. You can see here on the 6 p.m. You can see here on the 7th, same again, 2 p.m. Back again here and all through that, and you can see that SPY has continuously just done well. While it seems that the majority of traders, investors, swing traders, or any other category that's not exactly in SPY, maybe even the small caps are getting hit, that they're not doing too well. So it could still be kind of a rotation, but it's a little concerning to keep seeing the markets going up. Yet the stocks that run up a lot are too hard to watch. But here's a video from Financial Education Jeremy. He's a great guy. I've been following her for a while, and this is a pretty interesting video that I wanted to put here about SPY.
Even pointing out to like a little more beginner people, it makes total sense to them. So you see the green line there, that's a 20-day moving average. And what I like to do is I like to kind of track, the 20-day, which is a green one, the yellow is the 50, the blue is 100, the pink is 200. But a key thing is, if you look at the SPY, which is the S&P 500 index fund, if it's floating high above the 20-day moving average, I'm typically not going to be buying any key assets that are in the S&P 500 because I feel that it's not the best valuation point there. There could be better buy points on it. But when you see the SPY diverging far away from the 20-day moving average, if you kind of see if it's holding parallel to it, let's say that's just a constant healthy bull market, it's going to have its little minor pullbacks. But what I like to say is you get the microphone effect where it kind of starts diverging away from the 20-day moving average and it starts flaring upwards. That's typically where you get that sharp buying, day after day, like we're seeing right now. Like I have 3 arrows on here. You look on the far left, it's microphoning
with FundRide.
Hate these ads.
That have powered the world's strongest portfolios for
off the green line, and it just needed a hard pullback to kind of consolidate, reset, and then away we go. The second one, same thing. You saw it kind of diverging there. It was only a matter of time before it was going to pull back there. And that's kind of where I was seeing all these indicators where, I've been telling the group this week, look at the third one to the far right. We hit the all-time high of the moment right it's kind of flared up there. It's pulled back a bit, but it's been kind of tracing this nice upward trend here. But what I like to say is, you want to kind of start making your buy points on certain assets when you see the overall S&P 500 dipping down if your stock is an S&P 500. But, you can also take a look at the QQQ if it's a very, if it's a tech-heavy play, like if you're looking at some kind of FANG stock or semiconductors, things such as that. I'd probably focus on a little bit more of the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ index. But for this instance here, you can kind of explain it as, if you look at how the daily chart here is kind of diverging from the moving averages, and say, you don't have to be super technical, but it's good to make these kind of observations of, compared to a 20-day average, you can see where it is really taken off. It's kind of going on a nice upward trajectory. It's very bullish, but a lot of times what happens is these kind of more blow-offs, they need a consolidation to come back to reality, kind of cool off, consolidate, and then kind of continue on if we're going to continue in a bull market.
Yeah, so that was that. He's basically talking about the S&P 500 and doing some technical analysis there, looking over the past, I think, 6 months, or actually, maybe even 1 year since the March crash, talking about how crazy the market has gone up for the past 5 days, and it might be time for some consolidation before we can begin our journey again. Here you can see the arrows where he had them. First it was June 5th, then it was August 31st, and now, of course, we closed today at an all-time high, even on a Friday, closing above, for the S&P 500, above 4,111. So essentially, the market has gone just up, and up, and then ever since that February, and then stocks that were heavily, I guess you could say, speculative, and any investments like that have kind of fallen. And even if you look here at across the U.S. exchanges, I believe it was April 7th was the lowest trading volume day for 2021. So that was pretty difficult to. That's why I'm sure a lot of people have been feeling it. It's been on a straightforward decline since January 29th. It looks like right there, maybe 30th, has been on a straight decline to where it was on the 7th. Basically, I think maybe that's 9 billion, maybe it's 9 trillion, depending on what metrics this is using. But this is from Bloomberg News. So everybody has been feeling this kind of hit around their stock portfolios, and we were still able to make money in this market. You can see around here in the comments that everybody is pretty much feeling the burn from essentially what happened in February. So I'm not sure exactly when the market's going to come back around. Maybe hopefully soon. Maybe it's kind of a deal of if SPY falls, maybe we can go back to the speculative investments. But as of right now, there's not a lot of change going on, and hopefully moving forward we'll see some more changes that where it can make it much easier to trade, because I've seen a lot of new traders, a lot of traders here that have essentially that are pretty good, but are not making any money, or even close to losing money, because they think that the market is still the same from where it was before. Because you see the patterns, you can see whatever patterns you're used to seeing, and then all of a sudden you were completely wrong. As of today, even Barry today looks like it hit a nice high of 20 during the day. Currently doesn't look like it has moved at all in the after hours, so that's interesting to see. But now it's going week by week, where we see trends. First, I believe first it was NFTs, well, it was BIOS, NFTs, crypto. Now we're seeing low floats. I'm wondering to see what's next. Right now it seems like it's primarily just low floats. So hopefully next week we can come back stronger. Maybe even finally get around the spin. It's a new month, so the S&P 500 usually does not end red in April. So we'll see how that works out for us and for everybody else. Hopefully the volume starts picking up again, and we can go back to performing, doing swings and doing long-term, maybe even long-term investments again. Pick up some stocks at a good value. But as for now, there's no need to swing anything. Right now, it's just mostly day trading and day trading. So we still managed to get a couple calls. So if you do want to be a part of the team, to just look under the link in the description of the YouTube, you'll find a link to the stock tweets. There I do calls essentially every week. We do calls. We're pretty good. This week there haven't been many, thanks to the due to the volatility, and it's better to keep it that way. That bears more quality than quantity. Even if you didn't bank on SOS, which would have been a 14% move, Barry was a pretty good move. Barry moved up almost 40% from when I said that I was adding. I added a little earlier. I was even before that day, I was talking about Barry all day long. I started talking around, looks at 6:49 a.m. says watch list this morning. Barry can pull a UTM at the open, and that's exactly what it did. I added around as soon as it dipped, and as soon as it was dipping, I added. Caught a very nice dip. I added, said manage risk carefully, and then as soon as we added, a couple minutes later, it was halted, and we were able to make a nice profit off of that. We got out around the 20s. Then it later went to 21. But I'm not going to be too upset, especially when a lot of people are not making a lot of money in this market. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like and subscribe. I will make sure to keep coming out with more content every week, if not every day. Thank you, and you have a great day.